A warm welcome to all of you watching at home to today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and a race that in its short history has already proven no stranger to drama. A fourth row start is just about as likely to give you a podium as a pole position would. And remember, in 2017 and 2018, both Lance Stroll and then Sergio Perez took surprise podiums here. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let me ask you about Renault. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. It's Red Bull in pole position then, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, and Bottas, Leclerc, Stroll, Gasly, and Sebastian Vettel, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Esteban Ocon, and Latifi, Norris, Russell, Kevin Magnussen, and Daniel Kvyat. Raikkonen and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
We're waiting for the lights to come on. There they are, to 2, 3, 4, to 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. They weren't held for very long. It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We get a horrendous start. We've already been passed by 2 cars. We try to feed it around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. We get through. It's a 3-wide moment there behind. Valtteri Bottas leads from us. Then comes Daniel Ricciardo in third. Esteban Ocon is going side by side with Antonio Giovinazzi. And this will be an interesting battle to shape up. And he gets past Antonio Giovinazzi, and we were trying to get through into first place once more. We got a horrendous start. So we are down to second place. We are down to third place for a moment, but we got that place going into the braking zone. And we're going around the outside, and it switches to the inside. That was a bold move. And here we go. We get a good exit and into the next 90-degree right-hander. We go around the outside, and we are back up into first place as we watch everybody go through now. And the Haas of Romain Grosjean rounds out our grid. He's in last place at the moment, so he will be trying to change that. At the moment, he is in last place, though, so he will have to get a move on, and it'll be very he'll have to drive a master class to get points in this race, so I don't think he will. But we lead from Valtteri Bottas, and then comes Daniel Ricciardo in third. He's gotten away very well indeed. He's already gotten past our teammate Max Verstappen, but we lead the first lap to the end of the first lap, and hopefully that won't change too much till the end of the race. Here was our start, our horrendous start to 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. And as you can see, we just could not get moving off the line there, sailing past the Mercedes and Renault, but we danced it around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo and back up into second place. We had to block him off a little bit on the exit. Here's Valtteri Bottas' start to get into the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for just a moment into turn 1, and it's clean sailing for him ahead, but he couldn't keep that lead from us. Here's Daniel Ricciardo's absolute brilliant start as he got past Max Verstappen, because Verstappen got held up by myself and Valtteri Bottas. He got boxed in, and there's Daniel Ricciardo up into third place. As we ride on board with Nicholas Latifi closing up to the Williams, and he pulls to the right-hand side and blasts past George Russell with DRS. And that looked very easy indeed for the AlphaTauri. So the AlphaTauris are looking like they have a strong pace in this race to get some good points. Here comes the McLaren of Lando Norris trying to go around the outside of Antonio Giovinazzi into turn 1. They're side by side. Norris on the outside trying to get around, but it's very close indeed as we go through the next 90-degree left-hander. Norris is on the outside trying to get a better exit, and Antonio Giovinazzi will have DRS, and so will back there Nicholas Latifi. He could go for an overtake, and he's flying as he's now side by side. This could be a double overtake around the outside of Lando Norris, and this will be an interesting battle because 2 very quick cars here in Azerbaijan. Nicholas Latifi on the inside. Oh, but he gets all out of shape, and that might be his chance over, and it is. As Lando Norris just stays ahead and will stay ahead for a little bit longer, but how much longer is the real question, because the AlphaTauri is looking very, very quick at Azerbaijan. Down the straight we go. The Renault is really putting pressure on the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly, and sails past very quickly indeed. That was very easy for him. He's right on board with Valtteri Bottas trying to get past Charles Leclerc, as he will have DRS, and I'm sure he will blast past him. Yes, he does blast past Charles Leclerc, and that was one of the easier moves for Valtteri Bottas. As you can see, he got up into and he almost so nearly ran right into the back of the Racing Point, but he is still ahead of Charles Leclerc. Going through now, the McLaren on the back. It's Carlos Sainz versus Charles Leclerc, and Sainz is already passed Charles Leclerc, so the future teammates in real life in 2021, Sainz gets ahead of this battle. On the final corner now, we're on the straight. If we can get to the line first, then we win the Azerbaijan, and we do. We win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix after a horrible race in Monaco. We bounce back, and we take victory in style here in Azerbaijan. It's a great race for us after a horrendous race. And Daniel Ricciardo, take a bow for P2 in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Well done, Baku.
And so ends another Azerbaijan Grand Prix, a fascinating race and a well-deserved victory. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
We win in Baku, followed by Daniel Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Perez, Bottas, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, and Esteban Ocon. And then comes Pierre Gasly, two Frenchmen in the top 10. Then comes Lance Stroll, Sebastian Vettel, then Lando Norris. We lead the championship with 141 points. In second place is Lewis Hamilton, only 22 points behind us. Then comes Valtteri Bottas, 24 points behind us. In fourth place is Daniel Ricciardo. Then comes Max Verstappen. Then Charles Leclerc, Ocon, Sainz, Vettel, Perez, Norris. Then comes Stroll. Then comes Pierre Gasly in 13th place. Now it's time for our post-race interview after a brilliant win at Azerbaijan Baku City Circuit. Oh boy, where to begin? I got a horrible start, so I dropped down to third place. Into turn one, I went around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo, who had an amazing race, by the way. So I got up into second place, and I made a good move on Lewis Hamilton, or Valtteri Bottas, actually. Right before the castle section, so that was good, and I commanded the race ever since then, and it's good to finally win after a horrible race at Monaco, and hopefully I can keep this momentum going into Canada, because I feel like I can, and I won in Canada last year for AlphaTauri, and so I had a lot of pace last year, and hopefully I can have pace this year as well.